Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another video, and it's kind of late, so if I do sound sleepy or anything like that, it's about 6:30 a.m. where I'm from. If you aren't on my Discord, a tree fell on my car, so I was, cleaning that up for the better part of a day. But yeah, so without further ado, let's get to the video. So this is a thread review video, so this is pretty much going to be part 2. So we went over this thread in part 1, which came out a couple of days ago. I'm going to link it down below as well. But what's it called? I'm going to link that video down below and also the thread down below if you want to read it for yourself. But this thread pretty much talks about war changes that were made in 1.5.1 and how they affect the game, the previous, before the changes and after the changes. So we went through all of this, read through all of it. There was some code as well, some good graphs. So if you do want to see me go through all of this, like I said before, I'm going to link part 1 down below in the description. But yeah, we did this, and then we did the rest of page 1. So now we're going to continue. We're going to go to page 2 and then see how far we get. We're going to try to keep this video about 15 to 20 minutes because I am a bit tired, but we'll see how much pages we do get through. So there should be some good replies from people and some good replies from the developers. So let's do it. So we got thanks. These were some good changes, by the way. If you didn't know, the 1.5.1 wars are so much better now. Like, the changes that were done and implemented were amazing, in my opinion. Like, you can actually, you know what I mean? Like, kingdoms can actually fight back now when they're on the bottom, how would you say it? On the back foot, right? Or if they're really down bad, let's say they have one settlement or no settlements, they will still fight back. They usually don't all gang up on somebody. They usually only stick to 1 to 2 wars at a time, between 1 to 2 different other kingdoms. So yeah, I think the 1.5.1 changes are amazing. So thanks for the effort, really appreciate it. Okay, really appreciate the effort to work with us, taking the time to post all this up, but it's also great to see. Also, your English is good, so don't feel that you need to apologize. Okay, question that you may be able to answer: is it programmed that some factions find it more difficult to create and maintain armies than others? If not, should it be so? I was thinking of the Khazaits in particular and how to balance their tendency to snowball, like their inspiration from the Mongols or the Huns. If the Khazaits are able to get a large army going to war, they should be near unstoppable, but it should be very difficult for them to make that happen. Tribal politics, grudges, blood feuds. Okay, so I know kind of what you're asking. Right now, that kind of depth isn't in the game. I'm pretty sure, the ability to make an army is really based on the power of that kingdom, how much clans are part of that kingdom, and how much of those clan parties are ready to join an army, and how big those clan parties are. I think the Khazaits, one of the reasons why they have such big armies is because their units are all very solid. So most fights they do take, they don't lose many units. Unlike other clans where if they take fights, they will use a significant amount of units, which in turn will make their armies smaller. And obviously, if the clans parties are below 40% capacity, then they can't even join an army and stuff of that nature. Also, before 1.5.1, what happened was, that armies would only be formed by very powerful kingdoms, and once a kingdom gets knocked down in 1 or 2 settlements, they don't even make any more armies, and that's why they kind of die off. But now, they do still make armies. Next question: is it possible or planned to have different types of wars, small and large, and change lord behavior based on the type of war? This occurred to me when you wrote about small wars to stop tribute. Maybe there should be war aim goals / for such to allow such situations. This would let factions declare smaller wars or to avenge an insult. Well, the devs in this question, the devs meant that small wars in terms of time. And I don't think they're, personally for me, I don't think they're planning small and large engagements. I think it's a war, then it's a war, right? It just depends how long it lasts, is what pretty much qualifies if it's a small or a large war. But let's keep it going. I can only assume you mean settlements have more food now. Besides that, not sure what you mean. Language barrier, I think. I don't know exactly what he's talking about. I don't think small wars are inherently bad as long as the player knows they are likely to end quickly. You know what would be cool that I thought about? Kind of like whenever we have had like what would you call it? When there's been wars in the past, right? Traditionally speaking, like people would hear stuff, you know what I mean? Stuff would be talked about, like, hey, I heard that the war might be ending soon. You know, like there would be talks in taverns, like I heard that this kingdom is about to be done with this kingdom. Hopefully, those type of rumors can be triggered by like talking to people in the town or the tavern, where you can kind of get a what's it called? You kind of get a grasp of what's going on. Like, let's say you go to a town that's like has the culture of Khazaits, but it's not under Khazait rule right now. You go to the tavern, and then all of a sudden they have some news from, let's say, Khazait wars. You know what I mean? Stuff of that nature. So let's say you are fighting the Khazaits. You might go into one of the towns, talk to the people in the tavern, and they might be like, "Oh, well, they're running out of food. I heard the Lord is almost." You know what I mean? Just rumors like that that would kind of give you kind of like an idea: is the war almost over, or is it still going strong, or something like that. I think that would be very, very cool. It would be kind of like a minor thing to add. Obviously, just a text thing, kind of just to, you know what I mean? Like whenever a kingdom, they could even put it like coded like this. So if a kingdom is running out of food, then you know what I mean. There's a random chance to trigger one of the, what's it called? One of the townspeople in the tavern will tell the player that let's go for like a small fee. You know what I mean? Like they'll be like, hey, for 50 dinars, I'll tell you a rumor from the kingdom of the Khazaits or whatever. And then you pay them the 50, and they're like, they're actually running out of food, or it'll be a good time to hit their food because that's the only thing going strong in the army, and that could really end the war, or stuff like that. I think like rumors like that would be very cool. Let me know what you guys think about the rumor idea. I think that would be in my opinion, I think that would be, it'd be very small, but also be kind of cool. Like it would be it give more strategy to the game, especially like we have here. Let's go to the original post so I can show you exactly what I mean. So, what was it? One of the changes was, see if I can find one of the changes. I don't know if I can find it here, but pretty much what happened is, so after 1.5.1, one of the changes in the patch was the fact that if what's it called, if too many villages are getting raided and stuff of that nature, then those people who own those fiefs connected to those villages, they're more likely to vote for peace. So if you wanted to, you could coordinate a lot of raids against different enemy clans, and then when they all get weak, since you know raiding their villages kind of makes their like their food supply weak and their income weak and all that, right? If a vote does come up for peace, they are more likely to vote yes because their villages have been raided, so they can't really afford to go to war. So I think that kind of change, it might be how can I say it? It might be obvious, but at the same time, you can use it to your advantage when it comes to war. And if you're fighting a big enemy, instead of actually fighting them head on, you can raid all their villages and you can come to a better peace agreement. So I think the rumor idea, kind of trying to tie back in the rumor idea that I just talked about, how you can go to a town and pay for some kingdom rumors. I think that that would also give some more depth in terms of, you know what I mean, playing the game more strategically, if that kind of makes sense. That was a wild tangent. Let's keep going. Brings me joy. Do you have experience with civil wars and revolts? They say that this. So I am planning on doing a video on all the streams, the German stream and the 2 English streams, kind of doing like a review video. They're kind of long streams. I do want to sit through them. I do want to watch everything, and I do want to take some notes on most of the stuff that's being said. Plus, I have someone who translated the German stream for me, so that video is coming soon, probably tomorrow or the next day. But I kind of skimmed through the German stream kind of summary that I received from one of my viewers. Thank you to you. And yeah, so they did say something about civil wars and revolts, that they are working on it. They didn't say it was high priority right now, but they have started this and it is in the works. Now, nice changes to AI, logic, but I personally think a better diplomacy system with different stances, pact of non-aggression, alliances. Yeah, but these are coming. Marriage alliances are coming. They have said something about that as well. It would be cool if you can, let's say, kind of like be neutral But then again, you would have to have, you know, it'd be cool, like, if you wanted to be just a neutral kingdom that does not participate in wars, you would then have to get into a lot of trade agreements, because historically speaking, the non-aggressive kingdoms in the past, or countries, whatever you want to call them, they all had very strong trade agreements with everybody. Therefore, nobody wanted to go to war with them. So there has to be kind of like a trade-off. You can't just be neutral because you want to be, right? But I think that would also be very, very cool. With that kind of system, smaller factions could form alliances to fight wars together and even the odds. On the other hand, pact of non-aggression would provide each kingdom a tool to prolong peace with other kingdoms and easily focus on wars they would want. This would, in my opinion, stabilize the game a lot and give factions that are on the brink of discussion some chance of surviving. Yeah, but I think you have to be a strong. I think you have to be a strong kingdom to become a neutral kingdom, if that kind of makes sense. Because if a kingdom is just starting to lose and all of a sudden they just say, "Hey, just don't attack us anymore. We'll be neutral," it doesn't really hold that much. It would help this, but I don't think it would help in the way that that would make it kind of immersive, right? Because I feel like it is kind of fun sometimes just destroying a whole kingdom, but I don't know. That might just be me. And let's see what else we got. Some more statements. Let's see the dev responses. Do you have so this is pretty much the civil wars and revolts. Yes, we should use revolts/rebellions to balance things. Currently, still winning factions are getting constantly bigger, slower than 1.5.0. So this is a problem. These changes are only one step. More need to follow in the future. There it is. Yeah, too, don't think Mexico knows. That isn't a problem. It is more with how lords and armies manage their food. I wrote him a message 3 days ago saying that was all good. Must have missed it. Still averaging 400 to 500 food is less for a town. It's good having a bit more because you know when a big army enters a settlement, they can buy 200 to 300 food. I don't know. Am I the only one who hasn't had problems with like food in terms of like the AI lords? Yes, some of them starve, but like most of them are fine. And I think like I think like some of them actually starving, it makes sense and it's not a bad thing for the game. You know what I mean? Sometimes, let's say an AI lord makes a mistake and doesn't buy enough food. It happens. I think like the mistake should happen, right? Because this developer in particular, one thing that I did agree with him on, well, not one thing. I agree with a lot of stuff, right? But in terms of this, he stated that while a bigger army assaulting a smaller defender castle or town should always win, not always win, should win most of the time, but they shouldn't always win. There should always be a chance for failure. And I think the same goes with food. I think that if some of them do fail and starve because they can't find any food, it should happen, if that kind of makes sense, right? It kind of like, you don't want everything to just be, if A happens, then B happens, right? Sometimes if A happens, C might happen by accident. You know what I mean? Something like that. That kind of situation, I think, should be implemented into the game more. So, I don't know. Maybe some people are having food problems with all their AI lords, but personally, me, I've been kind of okay with it. Oh, we got some ideas. All right, let's talk about it. Wonder if more diplomacy options would be beneficial here. Introducing options such as proposing a truce, last 1 to 2 years, cost less tribute. Vegas war-hungry lords don't want peace, are more likely to support a temporary truce. How about with this truce, if it is for 1 to 2 years, which is a long time, how about this? You propose a truce with this kingdom, but if they start a war with any other kingdom, you are pretty much allies for that war. Or if you start a war with any other kingdom, they are your allies. How about that? So kind of propose, like, since you guys have a truce, you guys are like together at that point, right? For that 1 to 2 years, and each other's wars are your wars now too. Next, binding alliance. Small kingdoms pay for a temporary alliance lasting 1 year. Kingdoms declaring war on a small kingdom will have also consider larger kingdom strength. Kingdoms only accept alliances if they have good relations or tribute price is high enough. Boom. So pretty much put these two together. I think you should either be able to pay for it, or form a truce if, let's say, you guys are similar strengths, if that kind of makes sense, right? If you guys are within, like, let's say 1,000, I think that you guys can make a truce, right? Or within 500 total, what would you call it, kingdom strength, then you can make it without tribute. But if it is a smaller kingdom wants to make a tribute with a bigger kingdom, I think it should depend on how much more strength they have when the agreement is made. Demand tribute. A kingdom can demand a higher or lower tribute amount. It is not successful, then kingdoms go to war. This would solve the short war occurrence. Yes, I think this would be cool. And I think once a kingdom that used to pay tribute to a bigger kingdom, once that kingdom becomes bigger than pretty much the person they're paying, I think they should either have the option to, what would you call it, threaten the first kingdom with war, or they stop paying tribute. One or the other, right? Casus Belli skirmish. A kingdom with a historical claim to a town or castle go to war with the goal of taking that specific town or castle. If they achieve the goal, then the lords are much more likely to want peace. If they have not achieved the goal within a year, they will want peace. This could force armies to be more aggressive and attack towns/castles even when their chances of success are low. Hold on. A kingdom with historical claim. I know what this is, right? But how does he want to implement it? If they achieve the goal, then the lords are more likely to want peace. If they have not achieved the goal within a year, then they also want peace. I'm confused exactly how that would work inside the game. Border skirmish. The same as above, except the goal is to take a town that is close to the current border. Both of these war types would be beneficial for smaller kingdoms wanting to take back lands without being overrun by long and expensive war. If these small skirmishes are seen as justified, then the attacked kingdom can offer lower tribute costs. I don't agree with this. I feel like if you're a large kingdom and some small kingdom tries to take your land, you're not just going to want peace and some tribute paid. You know what I mean? You're going to want to crush them. That kind of makes sense, right? So, I don't know about this one. But I do agree with these up here. And I don't understand how this one would be implemented. But overall, solid ideas. What else we got? We got another question. Mexico and I have suffered through some terrible language barriers before. I never take it as bad as I think he would never do that, but you're 100% right. It made me laugh so hard when I saw it. It was like Mexico quoted you in a post and you're irrelevant, even though I think you spelled it irrelevant. It was funny. I love and appreciate the guy. Yes, I meant out of topic, maybe used a wrong word, which is important, is getting the point at the end of the day. Even sometimes we cannot do this too because of language barrier, because these issues are a bit complex, so you have to have a better control over language to tell others what you think. Anyway, it was a tiring long day. Continue tomorrow. Good night all. Good night, man, even though this was posted on the 25th, but yeah, I don't know. What's it called? The whole language barrier thing. Hopefully people aren't taking it that bad because, yeah, you know what I'm saying? English isn't his first language and English isn't my first language. I don't think... Did someone say something bad about it? I don't remember someone saying anything bad about it. But I think they're talking about this point where he said irrelevant. But I'm pretty sure he meant kind of like it's not on the same subject as the main post. I think people took this the wrong way and thought that he was saying that this post that he made was irrelevant, as in like a... You know what I mean? A negative type of way. That's not how he meant it. But no, I don't know. Hopefully people aren't, being too rude. But I don't really see them being rude, so I don't know. They did used to be on. Used to be on kind of rude on the forums. Kind of earlier on, obviously, when that whole month thing was happening where we didn't get no update for a month. People were mad and people were even targeting the devs about their speech, even though the devs are, if I'm not mistaken, isn't the whole team from, the whole developer team, aren't they from Turkey? If I'm not mistaken, I know they have some other teams like the PR teams, they're located in United Kingdom. But in terms of the dev team, I'm pretty sure they're all from Turkey. So obviously, English isn't their first language, so people gotta chill. Let's see what else we got. Actually, I'm just ended off here. So that's gonna be part 2. I am gonna make part 3, part 4. We'll see how much parts are gonna go. Hopefully this was informative. I'm kind of tired, so I might have just rambled a little bit. It is what it is. But unfortunately, I said unfortunately, but hopefully you did learn something. And like always, ask me any questions, any concerns, and stay safe. By the way, I have a lot of videos that are coming up. I'm about to take, I'm not going to take a nap. I'll just go to sleep. When I wake up, Crusader Kings 3 is going to be out. I'm going to make a lot of Crusader Kings 3 videos as well. The Bannerlord videos are still going to come. Don't worry about that, but you might see a little bit more Crusader Kings in the next coming days because it just came out. But it's going to normalize, and we'll have, Bannerlord and Crusader Kings videos on the channel normally. But alrighty, guys, take it easy and stay safe.